Hi. Now I have a short lesson about diagramming gerunds and gerund phrases. If you saw the pattern for participles, gerunds follow a similar pattern, but not identical. Gerunds are nouns after all, and we do diagram nouns differently from the way we diagram adjectives. To diagram gerunds, we have a similar problem to that of diagramming participles. We have words which are nouns that can have complements as if they were verbs. The difference is that gerunds are nouns, and nouns always go on a horizontal line. We have to do something with them to keep them on a horizontal, but not to confuse them with other nouns and verbs. The solution is a noun stand. Gerunds are placed in their position on the diagram on a stand that resembles an upside-down Y. So we call it a noun stand. Kind of looks like an upside-down Y. Kind of looks like that. Okay, should be straight. There we go. We also put a little step on the line in the middle of the gerund to indicate that it is a gerund and not something else. Okay, so ultimately, let's say the gerund were the subject. Okay, here's the verb, and the gerund is the subject. Here's the noun stand, and the gerund would go like that with a little step going down to the right, like that. Okay, we will use those noun stands for other things. That's why we do have a little step in there. Okay, here's a simple sentence with a gerund to illustrate. Swimming is fun. Okay, very simple. Is the subject. Swimming, is the verb. Sorry. Swimming, of course, is the subject. What is fun? Swimming is fun. Let's just do the complement to take care of that. Of course, it's a predicate nominative. Fun is a predicate nominative, so it has, and the is a linking verb, so it has that diagonal. And then swimming goes on the noun stand, like that. And then the gerund does have that little step in it as well. So that's how you diagram gerunds, basically. Okay, here's a sentence we had before with a gerund that has a complement. Like the participles, the complement is separated from the gerund by a vertical line if it's a direct object, and if it's a predicate nominative or predicate adjective, it's separated by a diagonal. So reading the Bible should be a quotidian activity for everyone. All right, preach it, right? Okay. Should be is the verb. Reading the Bible is a gerund phrase that is the subject. Okay? So we put reading on the noun stand with the step in it, something like that. And then Bible is the direct object of reading. Didn't really allow enough room there, but you get the idea. Okay? The vertical line is, separates the verb from the direct object. Okay? And then the modifies Bible. Should be, okay, is a linking verb. Activity is predicate noun, predicate nominative. And then a in quotidian modify it's hard to write in the shadow. I can appreciate left-handed people have to write in the shadow all the time, man. Anyway, reading the Bible should be a quotidian activity. You can see the reading the Bible on the noun stand with Bible as the direct object of the gerund, or as we said before, the DOG. Okay, here is a gerund phrase with a predicate nominative. He likes being the umpire. Notice being the umpire is the gerund phrase in the direct object position. Umpire is the predicate nominative of the linking verb gerund being. Okay, so Let's try to leave it a little more room this time. Okay, likes is the verb. He is the subject. Likes what? Being the umpire. Being the umpire is the direct object. Okay, so being the umpire is a gerund phrase, so it goes in the direct object position on the noun stand. Again, there's a little step in it. Okay, being. He likes being. Being what? Umpire. Umpire is the predicate nominative, so separated from the linking verb with the diagonal, and then the, of course, modifies umpire. Okay. That's basically how diagramming gerunds works. Noun stand, little step under the gerund. Complements go on the same line the gerund is on. Okay? The gerund goes on a noun stand in virtually every instance, even when it's in a positive. Okay? Might have to think about this a little bit within a positive, but I'll show you how it's done. He could not afford his favorite activity, playing golf at the club. Playing golf at the club is a gerund phrase. It's a positive, just renaming activity. Okay? So, hopefully leave plenty of room this time. Okay, verb is could afford. This line's going to have to be a lot longer. Okay. Okay, for what could afford? He could afford. Okay. Not, of course, modifies could afford, so it's he could not afford. Could not afford what? Direct object, activity. Okay? And then his and favorite modify activity. And then playing golf at the club is a positive. It's also a gerund phrase that renames activity. Remember, positives go in the parentheses. So what we do in this case is we just put the parentheses there and put the noun stand between the parentheses and the gerund at the top of the noun stand, something like that. And so the verb is playing. Okay, in this case we do have a direct object, playing what? Golf. Okay, at the club. Now, you kind of have a choice, and I accept either one. You could put at the club under playing, or you could put it right under the noun stand because it is modifying the gerund. So I'm going to do it that way simply because there's more room. But if you had the room, if I made the noun stand a little longer or something, I could put it under playing. Either way is acceptable as long as it's directly under the gerund. Okay, there is one instance of gerunds that's slightly different, when the gerund is the object of a preposition. Since the object of a preposition is already on a secondary horizontal line, it's not on the main line, there's no need to put it on a noun stand. Just put a step in the horizontal line, because the step also indicates a gerund, right? So, he grew in spiritual authority by reading the Bible. You might remember that sentence from earlier lesson. Okay? So, the verb is grew. Who or what grew? He grew. Okay? And he grew in spiritual authority. So he grew in authority. Authority being the direct object of in. And spiritual modifying authority. And then by reading the Bible. So you have by, but reading the Bible is a gerund phrase, so the horizontal has a step in it, like that. And so then we put reading on the step, and that tells us that the object of the preposition is a gerund. And in this case, it has the DOG, the direct object of the gerund, Bible, and the modifying Bible. So, if you do have a object of preposition that's a gerund, you don't have to put in the noun stand. If you were to do it on assignment and put the noun stand in, I probably wouldn't mark it wrong. It just, it just makes it look a little more cluttered. But if you have the step, we know that way that it is a gerund. Okay, very simple review. Gerunds are placed on a noun stand in the position where the gerund is serving as a noun. Also, there is a step going down to the right on the line under the gerund. If the gerund has any complements, they are diagrammed after or under the verb as if a gerund were a verb. And gerunds that are objects of prepositions do not need to have the noun stand. Just be sure to make a step in the horizontal line where the object of the preposition is placed. Thank you for your time. God bless you.